So this is the Up Front TTS module. I was thinking I can make a little video going through some of the stuff you will encounter and some tips and tricks how to use the mod effectively. So first off, we come into this table where we have the deck and two information tiles, notes that we can read and then just remove. So, and over here we have the bags with all the stuff. When you hover with the mouse over them, you see the name of what the content is. And then we have all the regular tiles over here that you can use. But we'll come to this later. We start over here. So, with TTS you can use WASD to move the camera around, or you cannot go like this, but you can press the middle mouse wheel and also move. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. If you hover with the mouse you get information on what's there, and if you press Alt, the Alt key, you get a larger picture of what it's shown. You can zoom in and zoom out. So that's it with that. I will go through a few other functions with the keys when we encounter them, but you should know that up here in menu and help menu you have all stuff you need to check if you need them. There is but some things I will just tell you. So when you start the Up Front TTS mode, you will first check this information to all users. All personality cards and tiles are inside the bags. So how do we use them? Right click on a bag, choose search and drag out what you will use. Pull out the infantry, IG and AF text from the bag, right click and search to find the PC you need. Clone tiles to get more of them, right click clone. If you need to change size of anything, just mark it or press positive and negative, or you can right click and use the scale. How does this work? So we take the Germans here. We have German bag with the text and the German tile. I have changed this now, so there are not multiple decks in here. It's all numbered. So for example, we press right click and search. Here we have the name. As you see, when the mouse is hovered on, you get a big picture of the card, and the gray box with the white text inside that's following the mouse is because I have named the card. So we can just drag this out and you see all the cards are named. Numbered 6 Private Bernhoff, for example, and so I have just named the card. So how does this work? If you right click, I have just put in the name over here. That makes it easier to find in the bag. So for example, if you're going to play a scenario where you have number 1 and 2 and number 11, 12 and 32 and 25, you just go here and pull them out. What you should know is if you pull them out over here, that this is the only copy in the game of this card, so if you accidentally delete it you will have to use the rewind button to get it back, or you can clone it and then put this one back. So if you, in case you take this away, you always have this one. If you destroy the whole mod, nothing happens. You can just reload it and everything will come back as when you load it first time. But this is how I solved the sorting of stuff. So we have them all in order, so it should be very easy to find exactly what you need. If you need the tiles and the counters, you go here and you take search. You have here all the German counters. There is only one of each, so if you need multiple bolt action rifles, you just clone them. And as the same with that, you just pull them out. You press clone, or there is a short button for it, I think. No, it's not. It's copy. But you just clone it. I think cloning is better than copy. I'm not sure what copy does, but cloning works perfectly. So and this also have unnamed bolt action rifle, as I have put in over here. Okay, that is how you get stuff out on the board. When you for example are playing and you need to flip, you can mark it and just press F for Foxtrot, and you flip it. You see when it's not marked, it doesn't flip. I can just, now I'm holding the left mouse button and I can flip it. I can flip it like this, or I can flip like this. If I moving an object like this, holding my left mouse button, I can go over another object, just like this, and right click. I just did a right click and I pulled up a lot more stuff. This is only functioning if you have the options and you use the physics to full or semi-locked. Sometimes I press in lock here because I don't want stuff to fly around. For example, if we lock here and we take a card and we try to toss it, it stops, which is nice if some people are very quick with the mouse and accidentally toss away stuff, because if we use the physics to semi-lock, it's not the full physics but a bit, and we try to toss this, you see it slides away. Whee! So, but to be able to use this one, which is very nice, you need to have some physics on. Also, if you have a bunch of stuff marked, you can move them around like this, and if you want to sort them, you can just press any numbered key button on the top of your keyboard, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is how many rows you want to order them in. So if I press number 3, we get 3 rows. So let's take, for example, a lot of cards here. We want to check some stuff, and we just press 4 because we want 4 rows, like this. What card goes where is totally randomized, but if you want to, for example, store or like organize some stuff in the corner and you want them to have neatly, you can just mark them and press the number of rows you want them to be. Very easy. So, okay, how to we can see here. We have another information box here, because now we have gone through most of what we need to know about the how to use the cards and the tiles. You should know that these tiles here are all what we may need to use during a regular game. They are also found in here. I just, because this was the first way I did it, so I saved them also like this. These are the same as out here. There is a small general tiles bag. These are for the, if you are playing a campaign game and you want to use these small ones. These you never use in a regular game, so they are not provided here on the board. You need to take them out and copy them each to use them. It should said that these are unlimited supply, by the unlimited number you see there. So you can just pull how much you want, and if you have too much, you just mark them and press delete. There you go. So, and we can put this one back here, and we can put this one back. Oh yeah, we did a. Can take it away. We did a clone of that. So that is how this works. We have all the nations. Unfortunately, the bag's color are very off. I try to mimic exactly the color, but they are much darker than what they are what you think they are. This felt gray is not really as light as this bag, so it's a little weird, but we have to live with that. But each bag are named, so it's very easy to find. And here we have manuals and other stuff, so we can search. We have the manual, the Banzai manual, the Desert War. We have Richard Irving's nice flowchart. We have his collected scenario sheet. Here we can find almost all scenarios you can need. We have this, which I have not really, the close combat modifiers versus armored fighting vehicles, and also the relative range chart if you need it. You might need this when you play with some AFV if you have not remembered it. I guess most have not. The problem here is if you use the Alt, you see it comes like this. I have asked why this happens and I have done everything correctly, so I don't know why it doesn't work. I loaded in the right way and stuff like that. So this is just a little problematic, but otherwise you can use it, but you will have to bend your neck or just remember it. So sorry about that. Maybe I can fix it at some point, but right now I don't really know why it's causing it the problem. We have custom-made player aids. For Germans, it's pretty easy. It shows say how many cards you have and what's your discard capability. Special rules for elite troops and second line, and when you break. So these are a little more information when you have Russians or Japanese. Russians have the Berserk, Japanese have the Banzai. So here you have all the information you need for this. Here we have a modified action deck. This is the original action deck. If you need more action decks, you can just mark and clone. So if I saw there were some people having a teaching game where 2 players played on this side and 2 players played here. So it's very possible to finally use the team play function. In like if you have been on convention, you can play 2 on each side versus 2 others with separate scenarios that can overlap with radio contacts and stuff like that. So I would just clone this and you have 2 decks like this, very easy. And you can take it away. But this is the original deck. This is the exact deck that comes in the game when you purchase it. But the Marsh card is fixed, so we can see if we can search it for a Marsh card. Yes, no, here. As you can see, the Marsh card have the correct number. It's not a positive modifier, it's a negative modifier now for incoming attacks. So these are corrected. Otherwise, it should be the exact same as the printed deck in the game. So we can put it over there. Ooh. No, we cannot. Maybe it's because we have... So, yes. But these are a modified deck, and what I mean with modified is we have done some extra work to show all split action cards. Shows the correct nationalities now. So as you see, the smoke is for American, Germans, French and British. Before you just needed to know that the French used American and the British used German, but now we have put this into every card. Split action. So you can choose to play with this, but you don't have to. We also provide you with the original deck. Alright, so what's next? Yes, information to use the action deck. Oh, sorry. Information action deck. Place the action deck where you want it. Right click, toggle and lock. Now the deck will stay in fixed position. So for example, if we are going to play over this area or over here, we can say let's play over here. We will have the action deck here, so we will have groups over here and here. We can just right click, toggle and lock. So now the deck will not move. I cannot move the deck, I can only draw from it. Problem is if you actually draw too many cards, you cannot just put them back because it will be on the top and it might get a weird... it doesn't get shuffled into the deck. So then you need to just unlock and you can do like this and you see it goes straight in. And then if you press R, you shuffle the deck, so you can always press R a few times. You need to do this when you load the mod because the deck will come in the order of 1 to 162. So you need to shuffle it. So first we shuffle it, we then lock it. Now no one accidentally moves the whole deck. And the problem is now if I withdraw cards, we see 157 cards left. That is not how the game is supposed to work. You should not know how many cards that are in the deck exactly. You should only be able to look at the stack. Very easy to fix. You just toggle and hide tooltips. Now you cannot see the how many cards that are left. But then you say, okay, but when I take cards, check, fire, oh, no fire. And then we put them in the discard pile. Now we can see the discard pile. Easy. Just same toggle and take away tooltip. Now you have no idea. You only have what you can only count your own cards. You can see how many cards your opponent have, and you can see what's out, but you cannot count the decks. This is not locked because every time you're going to put cards back in the bag, you want them to stick. So you should not lock this. I would only lock the deck. So and also when you start the app, you should choose where you want to sit. Can be red. I get a red hand. So for example, now I am the German. I will draw 5 cards. What do? I put my hand over here and I press the number 5 on the keyboard. And I automatically draw 5 cards to my hand. They are here. If I now change side to say I will be the green, this is how it looks for an opponent. He only see how many cards and the back of the cards, but he doesn't see what cards. So say I will choose back here. Yeah. And if I want to throw away a card, if I'm zoomed in here and calculating stuff, okay, I want to toss away a card. I mark it. I press F to flip it. F for foxtrot, and I just move it over there. So then, if you don't do it, people will see what you toss if you flip over here. So I would say flip and then toss. Very easy, but works great, and you always have good option to see what cards you have in your deck. So say I will draw 3 more cards. Easy. And the Alt function works over here as well, and you can scroll to increase and decrease. Works very good. So that is how we use the action deck and how to use the cards. So for example, say if we have a bunch of cards, for example we have done a fire and we are going to fire on 3 persons. I withdraw 1, okay, -3 on that attack, -6, and we do a malfunction, and blah and blah. We have a lot of cards. You just mark them, press G for golf, gather. That means you gather them together, and then you just flip them and put them there. Works super good, super smooth, no problem at all. And if you just have a few stuff, you can still use left mouse button and you hold the left now and just right click. So if I just want to take 1 card over here, I just press and drag. If I press and hold for half a second, you see I lift the whole deck. That is what happens when... That is why you want to lock this one, because you cannot do it now. Now you can only drag from here. Because sometimes when people were going to drag the top card of the deck, the whole deck come flying. So that's why you want to lock it, so you accidentally cannot pick it the whole stack off. But because this is the discard side, you never really touch it, you only put stuff on it, so there's really not a problem. So that is what we do with the deck. So we use toggle to lock it in place, and toggle to check off the tooltip, so we cannot read exactly what's on it. Alright, I think that is basically the functions you're going to use. These one you can just delete because you will not use them. Otherwise all this other stuff are locked in place. If you bother by them, you can unlock them and toss them. It won't damage the mod. And I hope you guys will enjoy the Up Front TTS mod and play it. Thank you for watching.